Hi guys, welcome back to Code with Shuk, and in today's video I have worked on a data mining clustering project, and the purpose of this project was and is to analyze a credit card data set and identify the different customer group and patterns in their behavior. I have used two techniques. The K-means clustering and the association rule mining. And what K means is an unsupervised machine learning algorithm that groups similar data points into K cluster. And then association rule mining finds patterns of things that often occurs together. And then so that's what those are means, and those are the techniques that I'm going to use. So first I imported my libraries, read from the data set, and then first before training the model, I've looked at the missing value, looked if we have any missing values, removed the identifier because it is not needed to identify customers' behavior. And then after that, I fill in the missing values and standardize the data using standard scanner right here. And then this is where I fill in the missing values. So we want to do this because the model can't learn on empty rows and columns. So we want to fill it in so the model can learn properly. And then so after that, and then we want to do this is very important to standardize the data. It's very important to standardize the data because some columns have much larger has much larger value than the other, and we want the future to be treated equally by the model. And so after that, I've built the K-means model using 4 clusters, and I've created the EVO method. This is gonna help decide how many clusters to use, and so and then I've also created the customer cluster plot, which is right here. So each point represents the customer, and each color represents different clusters, which made much easier to see how customers with similar spending, paying behaviors are grouped together. And then so now let me run the code so we can see what's going on. Okay. So as we can see here, so we have a value right here. That's from the beginning when we trying to analyze the data before training the model, and then we fill in the missing values, and then so we fill in the missing values, and then now we have the customer cluster. And then so as we can see, we see different groups. We have 4 groups over here, and each color represents a group. And then so the I've also used the EVO method to find the best number of clusters, and then the graph shows 4 clusters that is the best choice because the improved slows down after each point. And then the K means groups similar clusters together, as we can see here. And then the table shows the average of each group, which helps identify different customers type. So that's for that. And then now we're gonna see as we can see here as well for that graph. Okay, so for the second project, I worked on the association rule mining with Apriori algorithm. So I've converted several like numbers. I've converted like some number columns into like high and low categories because Apriori works with like categorized data. So like after running the algorithm, it generates several like association rules that shows like relationship between approach, payment, balance, and credit cards. And so what I'm gonna do now is run that so we can see how that looks like. Let's delete that. Now I'm gonna run it again. So as we can see here, I use like the elbow method to find. So as we can see here, we use the a priori algorithm to find like patterns in the customers. And then what we did first is that we converted the data into like true or false, as we can see right here. And then the algorithm finds the most common combination, and then which is this right here. And then after that, it created association rule by showing relationship between customers' behavior. So for example, the customer with high paying also tends to have high approaches, which we can see over here as well. So yeah, so the support confident in all the uplifting value tells us like how common and how strong each relationships is. So yeah, so basically that's all of this video. And yeah, so thank you so much for watching. See you guys next time. Thank you.